What's going on, everybody? It's Jose Matos here from Critical Condition Sports, back with another video. In today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about why Dak Prescott will not be a better quarterback when it comes to comparing himself to Carson Wentz. Why, you ask? Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? We're back with another video today. In today's video, like I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about why Dak Prescott will not be a better quarterback in the next coming years versus Carson Wentz. Now, Dak versus Carson, that's been a debate, right? Why are we talking about this right now? Well, here's the thing. These quarterbacks have been compared ever since the 2016 NFL draft, in which Carson went number 2 overall, and then Dak didn't go until the 135th pick overall. Both of these guys have played against each other when they were in the NFC East, or at least whichever way you want to word it. And pretty much it's just been an ongoing debate between these two. They've been connected ever since then. I truly believe that Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than Dak. And for various reasons, you know, it's just, to me, it's just an obvious thing, and a lot of people are living in the past and don't want to truly believe that. Carson Wentz will be a better quarterback than Dak Prescott moving forward. Now, here's the reasons why Dak Prescott will not be a better quarterback than Carson Wentz. Personnel is number 1. Number 2, it's front office. And number 3 is just overall talent. Let's go into detail with those things now. Number 1, for me, personnel. I think when it comes to all the advantages that, you know, Carson has going into this new team, he's definitely built better to win. Dallas has a better receiving core and has a better running back, for sure, right? But here's the thing. The receivers is not even close. Let's just go ahead and give that to Dak. But when it comes for Carson and personnel-wise as a team, Carson, when you look at the running back situation, I know that Zeke is hands down better than Jonathan Taylor, but here's the thing, folks. The Cowboys are overpaying, and it's hurting their team by overpaying for a running back that hasn't been producing since he got paid. Jonathan Taylor is still on a rookie contract. He's coming off his rookie season, in which, you know, he did an amazing job, you know, 1,000-yard rusher. And he's cheap. Again, he's not hurting the team. Again, he's not a distraction for the team. So Jonathan Taylor is good, and he's definitely more than capable to carry the workload and give the Colts a solid, average, I don't want to say competent because he is above average, but a good, solid run game in which you're not overpaying as well, unlike the Cowboys there. Next thing is, when I look at that offensive line, the Cowboys offensive line, which was the strength of this football team, has been struggling with injuries, and obviously people are getting older here, but not the Colts offensive line. I give the offensive line edge here to Carson just because of the fact that they're younger. A lot of these guys were obviously picked off through the draft, and they're not expensive yet. They will get expensive. Yes, of course, you got to pay some people at some point here, but they're a lot healthier. They're younger, and again, you're not paying so crazy right now for them. And the Colts, you know, and I'll reiterate over here with front office, have really managed their financials well. We'll get to that later. So again, offensive line, I give that to Carson. So that's two edges right there, in my opinion, there that Carson has here. Now going into the next one thing, I think overall defense, Dallas has played terrible on defense. They were atrocious last year, while the Colts have a returning defense that ranked in the top 10, in the top 5 when it came down to sacks now, and they've added strength in the draft while they used their first and second round pick over there on the defensive line side, which is already a dominant part of this defense. So again, I give the defensive edge to Carson having a better defense over the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott there. Okay? So that's another one right there. So again, personnel-wise, you know what? We want to go ahead and give Dak the receivers. Great. The running game, I still give it to Carson just because of the fact that I feel like personnel-wise, Zeke's contract has definitely been hurting, and I don't know what version of Zeke I'm going to get. He's been very hot and cold. Defense, that hands down goes to the Colts right there when it comes to Carson Wentz having more help and more support there. So, personnel-wise, edge goes to Carson. Next, let's go ahead and go with front office, right? The reason why the Dallas Cowboys have not won a championship has been because of Jerry Jones, plain and simple. He's done some ridiculous moves contract-wise. He almost did a ridiculous move when he passed on Zach Martin to go get Johnny Manziel. Spoiler alert, didn't work out. And as well as the fact that pretty much Jerry Jones refuses to get a head coach that will challenge him. No disrespect to all these other coaches, Mike McCarthy, Jason Garrett, Wade Phillips, are all yes people. We all saw when Jerry got a coach that actually challenged him, and Jimmy Johnson. And, you know, those 3 out of 4 Super Bowls that Cowboys fans like to really talk about wouldn't have been done if it was just Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett working for him. We've already seen the results of that. Jimmy Johnson challenged them, and Jimmy Johnson is the reason why the Dallas Cowboys have those championships. Jimmy Johnson is the reason why Barry Switzer has a championship. No offense to all my OU fans here. But Jimmy Johnson is the reason why Dallas had championships, and when Jerry realized that he was getting more credit than Jerry himself, Jerry ran him out. Dallas Cowboys have not had a competent head coach ever since Jimmy Johnson went out. Bill Parcells couldn't win in Dallas either, okay, before people want to call me out there. So, there's that. When you go to the Colts, though, Chris Ballard has been a very successful GM so far. He's putting in the pieces. He hasn't been crazy spending in free agency, and he's really built through the draft and has hit on a lot of his draft picks there. Now, I do understand that the Colts have to pay at some point their offensive line, and they're nearing that deadline right now. But he hasn't gone real flashy with free agency because of the fact that he saved his dollars to be able to pay teammates, especially like that offensive line that's going to fortify for Carson Wentz. He's going to pay Darius Leonard there. Obviously, he's spending his money wisely, and he's not doing some crazy decisions here. So, Chris Ballard, and let's not forget head coach Frank Reich, who again made the right decision and just bringing Carson Wentz in. Here's the thing, folks. Carson Wentz has been more successful with Frank Reich than with anyone else. Look at Doug Peterson. Terrible track record with Doug Peterson. Carson Wentz's numbers dipped without Frank Reich, so Frank Reich can win. Frank Reich has been able to hold this team to be competent with Jacoby Brissett under center. Frank Reich made a playoff run with a Phillip Rivers who was in the tail end of his career and is unathletic. Frank Reich's a real mastermind here, and is a big reason why the Colts' fortunes have really turned around. Third thing is here, talent. Carson Wentz is more talented than Dak Prescott. Got a better arm, he's more athletic. Dak may be a better Iron Man. Obviously, we'll see. I don't think that injury he got last year should define who he is. Dak might be a better Iron Man, and Carson may have some injury concerns, but Carson's more athletic. Carson has a better arm than him. And I think that we've seen Carson at his best, and we've seen what he yields to his team. They actually have a winning record versus Dak, who at his very best gave his team an 8-8 season. Carson Wentz has been able to push himself, and regardless of what happened last year, I don't think he should be defined, just like we're not defining Dak through his injury. Who knows? Doug Peterson could have been a terrible head coach. Because all I know here is that Carson Wentz with Frank Reich has had a better record, and as soon as Frank Reich left, his record went down along with all his statistical success that Carson Wentz may have had. Carson Wentz's best season came with Frank Reich, and we've already seen the talent that Carson Wentz. It's why they were drafted so far apart to begin with, folks. The talent is there for Carson. He's more talented than Dak, and Carson Wentz going into the situation, because here's the thing, Dak was coddled. When he entered the league, he had a top 5 offensive line, competent defense, solid receivers, and he's had nothing but solid receivers, and when you've taken those away, he struggled. And now Carson Wentz is going in with a solid run game, a solid offensive line, a excellent defense, and now Carson is getting those advantages that Dak had when he entered the league versus now. You know, for Carson in the later part of his career, Dak is getting paid and personnel is going to be affected, while Carson is reaping the benefits of a solid, personnel-wise, solid coach, a solid GM. Carson's just in a better position to succeed and will no doubt put the nail in the coffin in this Carson Wentz versus Dak debate. So there you have it, folks. That's what my opinion is on there. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave it a like. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.